You know what I'm talking about. His GoPro system is specifically designed to take you guys to the top, but today, you don't need a book, you don't need a DVD, he is here in person.
Is I had no place to go. But back to network marketing. I had no place to go. Where was I going to go? No college degree. I'd walked away from real estate. I had, obligations to take care of that month. I had to figure this thing out. I had no place to go that would be able to create a situation for me that would get me out of my troubles. But the thing that I was blaming and mad at, because I was a professional blamer up until age 22, 23. That was my defining characteristic. It was never my fault. So I thank God a lot, because if the devil would have shown up in the suit of a businessman that says, all right, son, you're sick of this thing, I'll give you a job right now, $100,000 a year, but you work for me for the rest of your life. You never get a raise, you'll never get fired, but you get $100,000 a year. Are you in or you out? Guess what? I'd have taken it. I'd have taken it. And I'd have lived at 2% of my potential for the rest of my life. But thank goodness, the angels kept that person away from me on that bad day. You know what I mean? And I had to go back to the thing that was the problem for me in the first place, which was my limiting beliefs about myself, my blame mentality, and I had to say, guess what? I've got to just dig deep. And I went, I'll be honest with you, at the beginning, I didn't have a great attitude. I had to go, get in the car, listen to the best music I could listen to get me fired up, to get me through one day. And then I'd go home, I'd crawl under the covers, lick my wounds. The next day I'd have to get myself psyched up one more time. And then I found a friend that every day we'd look at each other and said, tell me again why we're doing this one more time. Tell me again why I'm going here one more time. Tell me again why I'm dealing with this stuff one more time. And then I found another friend, and then another friend. And in my first 3 years in network marketing, I made just enough money to be miserable. I made just enough money to pay the bills, get by. I had the pin. I moved through the ranks. Some of you know what I'm talking about, sitting in these couches. Everybody in the back saying, man, if I was just in the couch, and people in the couches saying, man, I need to be farther than I am right now. I know what that feels like. Having the pin, making just enough money to be miserable, not enough money to be living the life that you want to live, right? I know what that felt like. My first 3 years, I rebuilt my organization 7 times. I built it up, 20, 30 people. We'd be rocking, and then all of a sudden, for one reason or another, it would fall down again. So here's what I will tell you. My dominant emotion up until that point for my first 3 years was fear. Fear I was too late. Fear I was getting left behind. Fear I was on the wrong team. Fear I wasn't going to get the training or the support. Fear, 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 fear. Fear that I wasn't good enough. And in that one moment when I made the decision to go pro, my fear went away. Because now it wasn't built on anything or anyone else. It was just me. It was just me. And I decided that moment to become like an investigative reporter. And I started interviewing all the top earners. And I started saying, what are the skills that you have to master? And I identified the skills that I needed to master. And I was at a low level on some of them, and I had to start bringing myself up to a high level. And here's what I want to tell you. The biggest, most important thing in your life in network marketing is to make a decision. To become unshakable. To become the rock in the river. The river, most of you are the river. You flow around the rock. Whatever that is, your job, circumstance, other people. But when you become the rock and the world has to revolve around you, when you become unmovable, unshakable, unstoppable, undistractable, when you become solid, everyone starts to climb up on that rock and say, okay, they find refuge in you because you made the decision. The biggest thing in the world to become a network marketing professional, take charge of your life, is just to make the decision. I will not be moved. I am unshakable, I am unstoppable, I am unmovable, period, end of story. No matter what happens, no matter what support I get, no matter who hurts my feelings. There isn't 50 of you in this room that have really made a decision. The rest of you, something could knock you out of this business. Something could knock you out in the next 30 days, something. But if you make a decision, I promise you, it goes from being hard to being easy. Once you make the decision, you burn the boats, you say, I'm not going back, I'm going to the top. Once you say that, then it gets pretty easy because you don't have any other options. You don't have any other place to go. And what I will tell you is once you really make a decision, things are going to happen pretty fast for you. For me, in just 2 years after I made the decision, 2 years, I spent 3 years struggling, and in 2 years, by the time I was 29 years old, my 1099 for that year was $980,000. Within 2 years. Just 2. And then I was able to go on. I mean, I'm telling you, once you get to making $1 million a year, it's hard to go back. I'm telling you. You can pay the bills at that level. And what I will tell you about that level, I know everybody's talking about claims and everything else. Not everyone will, but anyone can. Anyone in this room can. Not everybody's going to, but anybody could. If you make a decision, there's some people in this room that no one is expecting you to be one of those $1 million earners, and you're going to be one. No one is looking at you. There's some of you that are saying, hey, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I've been around the block for a while. I am who I am. I'm going to do my best to see what I can do out of this thing. And you're going to just blow this thing to smithereens. There's going to be some of you in this room, young people like me, like I was, that say, you know what, this is my chance. I'm not going to walk into the matrix. I'm not going to step into that corporate slave world. I'm not going to take that. I did an interview with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, last week, and he said, the most evil thing on earth is the paycheck. Because as soon as you take a paycheck, you sell your life, you sell your soul, you sell your time, you sell your freedom, and you live in bondage. Wouldn't it be a good goal to get away from a paycheck? Yeah. Be a good goal, wouldn't it? So there's going to be some of you, young people, that say, you know what? I'm not going to do what my parents did and my grandparents did. I'm going to cut a new path. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to change my family tree. I'm going to change my family history for forever. Hundreds of years from now, they'll look back to this moment and say, guess what? Great, 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 great grandma or grandpa changed everything a couple hundred years ago for our family. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? All right. So, whatever, yeah, I agree. All right. Let me tell you, give you a couple principles for your notes if you're taking notes. First, network marketing isn't perfect. It's just better. It's better. It's better than a blue-collar job that beats on your body and is tossed this way and that by the economy. It's better than working for somebody else for that paycheck, being employed by somebody else, living on their agenda, trying to build their life. It's better than a sales job that has caps on it and pressures on it and is tossed this way and that by the economy. It's better than a traditional business. Even though entrepreneurship is the way to go, a traditional business is hard. What are your choices if you want to be an entrepreneur? You could buy an existing business, right? Question you have to ask, why is somebody selling it? Good question. You could buy a franchise as an entrepreneur. You could start something from scratch, which requires a lot of skill and a lot of money, a lot of time. Or you could be an investor. You could have money and invest and do that for your entrepreneurial business. But what do all those things require? Talent, money, and time. What if you don't have all of that and you want to find a way to become an entrepreneur? Network marketing provides the best way, by far, end of story, for a person to decide to become an entrepreneur. It does. Low price of entry, high potential return, the same benefits of a successful business, but without all the hassle. Somebody else does all the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to do all that other stuff. You got to plug in and work your butt off. That's what you have to do. You have to give it some time, but it'll be flexible on your time. Some people like to say, nobody makes money in network marketing. Anybody ever heard that story? Rest of you? No? Let me give you some numbers, just for fun. Our profession does approximately $169 billion a year in sales around the world. $169 billion. Just put this into your head so you get a little stronger when somebody says nobody makes any money, okay? $169 billion. On average, if you take the whole profession across the world, there's, at a very conservative number, 40% of that number gets paid out in commissions. 40%. That works out to approximately $74 billion per year in commissions. Gets paid to distributors. Independent people just like you. $74 billion. Big number. You know what that works out to? Over 200 million a day.
Let's go!
Over 200 million a day, right now, today, it's growing every single day. 200 million a day is getting paid out to people just like you. 200 million. So then people like to say, only the people at the top make money. It's only those people at the top make money. You gotta be in early, you gotta be first, you gotta be all this nonsense. There's approximately, my estimation, about 500 people in the world making $1 million a year or more in commissions. $1 million a year or more. 500 people in the world. So, if you average those people up to $2 million a year, because some are making a lot more than that, and 500 people times $2 million a year is $1 billion. $1 billion to $1 million earners. Okay? So that means there's $73 billion left. Getting paid to everybody else. So the people just at the top making all the money? Not even close. Okay, let's talk about the people making 6 figures a year. 100,000 a year. I estimate there's about 10,000 of those. So if you update up that, now take any other business that's paying 10,000 people $100,000 a year, you won't find it for this size. You just won't. You'll find the executives and the stock owners getting all of it, and everybody else getting small amounts. But if there's 10,000 people making 100,000 a year, average them up to 200,000, that's another $2 billion. Those are the 100K people. That means there's $71 billion being paid out to people making $300 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, putting a kid through college, paying off credit card debt, making a mortgage payment, paying for their cars, taking care of their insurance, taking a sick family member and guiding them to health. That's what this thing does. So anytime, next time somebody tells you nobody makes any money, say, hold on 1 second. Let me show you a little math, just for fun. So at least, you know, if somebody hates network marketing, what I like to say sometimes, because sometimes I get an attitude when somebody doesn't like network marketing. Most of the time when people say, oh, you know, is that one of those network marketing things? If I'm feeling kind, I say, wait, you have a story. What's your story? Tell me what happened. Did you join the company? Did the company go out of business? What happened? Something happened. Tell me your story. Right? If I'm feeling kind. If I'm not feeling kind, if I have a little bit of an attitude, if I'm tired, if I'm whatever, I like to say, listen, it's okay that you have a negative opinion on network marketing, but I wouldn't say it out loud because it makes you look really stupid. Just saying. You shouldn't say it out loud. Don't admit it to the world. Just don't do it. I don't do that very often, but it is fun. All right, so network marketing isn't perfect, but it's what? It's better. It's just better. Guess what the downside of network marketing? There's a couple downsides to network marketing. One, hold on, I'll tell you in a second. One downside to network marketing is it's very emotional. It's just emotional because we're dealing with people all the time. It's not like you're an accountant dealing with numbers. We're dealing with people and emotions and ups and downs and expectations and angst and drama and insecurity and all kinds of stuff. It's a roller coaster of emotion. But here's the biggest thing. Guess when most people join network marketing? Here's why they join and when they join. Once they have 4, 5, 6 people in their mind that they think will probably do it too, that's when they join. That's when they pull out their credit card and say, okay, I'm in. They don't say, oh, this looks like a good career path for me. They don't. Most of you didn't. You said, you know what, I can think of some other people that might do this. Huh. All right, I'll give it a shot. What does it cost me to get involved? What's my risk? All right. On average, what does a person pay when they first get started, their first product purchases, that kind of thing? What? About how much?
Here?
Huh?
Here?
Whatever, worldwide average. Sorry? A couple $100. All right, so let's just say it's a couple hundred. Here's what this really is. What they really join is a $200 lotto ticket. That's mentally what they join right there. $200 lottery ticket. And it's like a scratch-off lottery ticket. And these are the people that they think will probably do it with them. Right? So they go to the first person, they go, okay, I got this golden ticket, it's going to be great. I'm going to see if I got a winner. I don't know if I do. We won't know until we scratch it off. So they go to the first person. And they say, you probably want to do this, don't you? And the person says, are you crazy? No. And I don't even know why you thought about me. Like, oh. So you scratch it off. But you still got 4, so it's okay. It's still kind of depressing. Because you thought that person for sure, they were for sure locked. They were coming in. But be that rock in the river, so unmovable, so unstoppable, so unshakable. You tell them I'm going to the top. You're going to see me waving from the top, dead on the side. I'm not coming back. I'm done with this old life. I've shaken it off. And I'm ready to live a new one. Are you with me? It is worth it. It is worth it. I want to tell you, as I finish, that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for facing your fears. I'm proud of you for getting out of your comfort zone. I'm proud of you for being here, figuring out a way. Some of you had to pull off miracles. Talked to a gentleman over here that had to jump off of an airplane before it was taken off because he knew he needed to be here. You know what I mean? I'm proud of you for doing that. Some of you coming from other countries, figuring it out. From Peru, I'm proud of you. From Mexico, I'm proud of you. Colombia, I'm proud of you. Well done. But I will tell you this. In the next 12 months, there's more to do. there's more work. You've got to get better. You've got to get stronger faster. You've got to become smart faster. You've got to become more passionate faster. You've got to become a better leader faster. Because as you bring in the next 100,000 and the next 100,000 and the next 100,000, they need someone to look to. They need to look to you. So you can't expect a few leaders to be able to hold this all up. You have to become the leaders, the next generation that's going to make it happen. So with that, let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my wish for all of you is that you decide to become network marketing professionals. If you decide to go broke, because it is a stone cold fact, and we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. I love you all very much.
I'm living in that 21st century.